Thank you for visiting our channel. Today I came out to review and also quick unbox this nice looking brand new SuperBox S3 Pro. For full review, visit our Rambo channel. Links will be available in the bottom of this video. So here we go. This is their latest version of All-Winner, which has quad-core processor, comes with 2 GB of RAM and 32 GB internal storage. Plus, it's 10100 LAN, but 5G network on it. It does come with a really nice looking Bluetooth remote, and it just melts all together in order for you to use your voice recognition so you can talk to it in order for certain things to happen. We will test everything out in this video, and I do not want to forget, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, click the subscribe button. Make sure you share this with your friends and family, and make sure you click the notification icon, select all, in order to get notified once we have a new video out. On top of that, if you have a question, drop them at the bottom of the video. We love to help you out ASAP. And don't forget to click the like button. It really motivates us to make these type of videos quickly with a little more detail every time. So here we go. This is how the box really looks. It doesn't have much markings on the bottom, but on the sides you can see there are some little writings. And once we slowly take the box out and we take the components one by one out of the box, here are all the components that are part of the box. So it comes with this user manual. It does come with an HDMI cable. The power connector is created for Canada and United States. It is 5 volt, 2 amps. Here's the remote. It looks really nice, and once you open it, it's inside of a plastic. It looks nice and bulky, and once you go to it from the front, you have your power button and all of the functions that you really need to play with your box. Control for your actual TV, so you can process it. Underneath of it you have your media center, and you have some little colored buttons. We will see if it's going to work. And on top of that, I really like this navigation part of it. And if you go down, you have the mic button, volume up and down, and also fast forward and rewind button is there too. You have a menu button, settings button, and numeric. And I really like the way that they have designed their name and put it in the bottom. But this is how it really looks. When you go around, there's nothing here. Here's the IR sensor, and when you go to the bottom part, there's nothing there. But once you flip it in the back, it has a lot of instructions on how you can pair the Bluetooth. That's really cool. And also how you can pair and function your remote with your TV. I really like this because this is really engraved. It's not been printed on it. So they have paid a lot of attention on how they should be able to create this. And what I like is the bigger part will come out, and then you can put 2 AAA batteries, but the batteries are not included in the box. Very easy to play with. And that's it. Now here comes the box. You do have to rip the bottom part in order to take it out, except that you cannot really open it. So let's just destroy it and take it out. And this is how it really looks. I really like that. And then you have this little film in the front. Yes, you can take it out. And this is how slick it will look. So here's the front part of the actual box. It looks really nice. You have that little part, so when you turn it on, it shows you the time. Their name is written really nicely in the front. And when you go on one side of it, you have the SD card slot, and then you have the USB 3.0, and then you have USB 2.0. And if you ever needed to restore the box, there's a little hole. And when you go to the back, you have 2 big antennas. This is for the Wi-Fi, which we will cover once we go to the screen. And then you have the AC connection, and then you have 2 holes, and it just called IR and AV, so that way if you want to make the IR sensor a little bit longer, you need to get an extender, which is not included in the box. But you do have the HDMI connection. You have 1 LAN connection, and then you have the SPDIF connection, which is optical audio, so you can connect it to your stereo system. Now going on the other side of it, you just have holes for ventilation, and then once you flip it upside down, you have 4 little legs so you can stand up. More holes for ventilation. You have some information on the bottom, just in case if you ever misplaced your power connector, where you can find how much volt and amps you're going to need. And on top of that, you have a sticker with the actual model name, so that we do not have to make a mistake which one you have. On top of that, you have your serial number and the MAC address underneath, which I'm going to cover mine, so this way nobody makes a mistake. But once you go on the top, I really like that design that they have their name on the top, and that little cut that goes around, that really stands out. So as usual, we will connect the HDMI wire first. If you have an Air Mouse remote, it's time to connect it, and then go ahead and connect your power. Now when you flip in the front, you will see that the light is on, and yes, it is just powering up. That's not the proper time. It will change once it goes inside of the actual UI. Then you will see the proper time, but this is what it shows right now. Now the welcome screen looks very, very nice. And again, they always bring the same type of disclaimer right in front of you. So you can skip or you can say agree. In this case, I will say agree. So as soon as it boots in, this is what you should see. Now, yes, there are some little features that I have to block and I will not show it to you guys, but this is how it looks. So yes, the UI did change from before. The icons did change, which is a lot better now. But let's go through. So you have their name on the top. Then you have the actual weather, which I didn't set it up yet, but I'm connected via Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth is on. Now going on the bottom, you have the settings and also you have the little folder, so you can click on it and this way it will to your directory, so you can play something from the box or from your local network. And also right beside it is anything that is running in the background, it will be able to clean. And then you can also do a speed test directly from here by going to your browser. The next part is if you want to uninstall any apps, it will show up inside of it. And you want to use the mic, it actually sets up and it will tell you how you can pair your remote with the box itself in order to set up. You have to hold the OK and the return key for a couple of seconds. It will actually show you on the screen. So you have to hold it. And then the little red light will blink on the top and that's how it is going to be. And there you go. Now it is just pairing. And there you go. Now it's connected. So now our remote is perfectly working with the actual box. And you can see that when I press the button, it just goes next. That's how easy that is. And then you have some numbers so you can call. And also this is how you're going to be able to get some assistance if something goes wrong with your app or the box itself. How easy is that? I really like that. And then going on the top, you have these little shortcuts. So once we start installing some of these apps that I'm doing right now, you can go through and you can add them to come to the front. So we will try to as many as we can capture in this video as possible. So this is how easy it is to process. And then if you look in the bottom part of it, you have the MAC address, which I am going to block. And then the model numbers there, and then the time and date. Now again, I didn't set this up properly yet, so my time and date is incorrect at the moment. So now going through it, I noticed that there is an update. So let's get the update. And then this way we can go next and see how good this is. Now I have to mention that their servers are very fast. That's what really stands out for the meantime. So now it's just going to get the update and we're just going to wait for it to happen. Then we will capture the rest. So here are some benchmarking when it comes to this box. Number one that we're going to launch is going to be Geekbench. Now Geekbench gives you a lot of detailed information which is going to be available in the bottom, but you can see for single core we received 111 and for multi-core we received 328, which is a really good number when it comes to Android 9 running ARM7. The next thing we want to go through is going to be YouTube. Now for YouTube, what we're really looking for is if it can play the 4K video. And you can see right now that it does play 4K and 60 Hz, which is beautiful. But just to give you some little geeky information inside of it, you can see that this does take 1080p and there's one drop frame and this is 79 drop frames right now, but you can see that this is the native resolution and it would broadcast it back to you as a 4K and 60 Hertz or 60 frames per second, which is a really good number. And yes, there are some pauses that goes through because of the burst. So here is another video that we're just going to watch. You can see right now that this is still going to be 1080p as an outburst, but it is on 4K, but only on 24 frames. So this is another video just to show you exactly how it works. But you can see that it does take the MP4A version or VP9 in order to get you the 4K picture in a better quality. But this is just the geeky information I wanted to bring out to you guys. The next thing we want to capture is going to be AIDA64, so let's go into it. What we really like about this is that it gives you a lot of information in RAW. So number one, that you can see that this is running all-winner chipsets. It's not AM Logic, it's not Rockchip, but it is all-winner. and the model number is properly written. So that means as the coders that are working behind this are start paying attention to certain parts. The name of the board is written properly, and also the device name is there. But it is 2 GB of RAM, and the internal storage on this is 32 GB. And that's why you're going to see that how much RAM is used. This is the RAM, how much has been in total and how much is right now available. But when you go to internal storage, it does show that there's 24, and right now internal free storage is about 22. That means is more of this stuff that is missing right now. You're not going to see 32 gigabyte of space, but the rest is going to be taken care of by some of them for recovery, and some of them is also going to be taken care of by the OS that is running in the background and some apps that we installed on top of it. That's why the number is about 22 and not 32 gigabyte, except that underneath of it you have the Bluetooth, which is 4 plus, but more information is available in the bottom, so you know more. But going under CPU is the next part. So here you go. The All-Winner H6 chipset has been used on this. So it is quad-core processor, and it is running on 1488 megahertz maximum. And here you go, the minimum is 480. It goes up to this, and these are the cores, and you can see that how much it will use, how much of the CPU has been using, and more. And also the CPU utilization is right now right underneath of it, and it is running on 32-bit, and you can see it right over here. But the chip itself is on A53, which should be 64-bit, which is written right over here, but it is running on 32-bit because of the RAM and some more chips inside of it. But here you go, more of the information that you require is underneath of it. Now, if you go under display itself, native resolution on this is 1080p, and also with the chip in GPU, which is Mali T720, which is a dual core processor, you should be able to see 4K and 60 Hz. OpenGL is 2.0, but the OpenGL version is running on 3.1. So that means when you want to play something like in a game, then you will see some pauses once in a blue moon, except that it should be running nicely for you. And here you go. So this is what we wanted to see, is the information inside of it. So number one that I wanted to mention, so if you look in the bottom, it says 5G network is supported, and more information underneath of it. Now link speed right now, it says that it should be about a gigabit because it is running on a Wi-Fi range, not on LAN. So that's why it's a little bit different. But going under Android itself, it is running Android 9 Pie. API level is 28, but the security patches from 2019, I hope they're going to look into this and make it on 2021, just like the other boxes. Codecs is something that you guys are always asking for. So if you scroll up, you can see VP9 is there, VP8 is there, H263, 64, and all of them are going to be available over here. Now I have to mention that while we are making this video, this is not the full version of the video because we cannot capture certain apps and also the ones that are part of this box. So for that, we have a full review on Rumble, which is another channel that we have. So you can view it there, but you gotta take our words that you can use Netflix. It requires you to use your own subscription from Netflix. Same thing with Disney Plus. You need to visit their website to have your own subscription, except that does not work. In using this box, you do require to have an Air Mouse remote to play with something like Netflix or in this case Disney Plus. So that way it works for you very easily, and that way you do not have any kind of problem. But I have to mention that for something like Blue TV, yes, it has a voice search, and yes, it does work inside of the app, but it requires certain little aspects to be up to date and also enabled in order for you to function. If you have questions, don't worry, bring them at the bottom of the video. We love to help you out with that. So this is how easy it is to go through and play with them. Now that's not the only thing. The next part that I really like is going to be the last part, which is the speed test. So once you bring it up, so we already processed some of this and it's right over here. So this is how it really looks. So when we tried it first with the 5G network, when we selected, our download rate was 153 megabits per second. But again, our upload rate is 31. Now we have a gigabit internet, so this is the maximum that they can provide for us using 5G network. Now if we go back and we did it for a second time, we received 146, so it came down a little bit, but you can see the arc is really nicely done. So that way, that means is there's not much up and downs to it. It's straightforward to the end that it gives us 146 megabits per second. So that means your 4K and even 8K will play on this perfectly. The next part is the upload, which is 31.6. So we have 32 megabits upload, which is done again really nicely. Now, when we went to our LAN connection, now this is a 10100 LAN connection. So maximum speed that we are able to download from this is going to be 94.2, but our upload rate was a little bit down, which is 24.4. Again, it's really good when it comes to LAN connection. And when we went for a second time, it went up a little bit more, but you can see there's not much of an arc, so it doesn't go that much down and up. That means is you got your numbers properly, and your upload rate is exactly the same way, which is 23.6. So again, it means is the LAN connection also going to give you your quality properly, but when it comes to your Wi-Fi connection, it gives you a really better numbers. So that's telling you that they have done their job, but this will work perfectly for you. So this was our take on the SuperBox, which is modeled S3 Pro. This is all our own recommendation, and this is our own testing that we do reside in Canada. So there are differences when you go to United States or different part of the world that when you are playing with your video. Now, when you're trying to connect to their live TV, now some places do require to have VPN. So go through and get yourself a best VPN for your location, so that way you do not have any kind of connection issues. But I heard from some people that when you're watching some of the live TV, it does change some quality for you guys. Yes, it depends on what type of connection you have to the servers in order to get your picture. So for that, it's really good if you have a VPN, so that we can have a better quality. Except that, this was our take. I hope you guys like our video. If you do like it, click the like button, subscribe button on the top, comment in the bottom. Always remember to visit our own website, which is exitex.info. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and other social networking places. And thank you. Bye.